Happy Thursday evening, everybody. We are here for another night of Chair League action. Division 3 game versus the No Pant Zone at 1-3 and NORF at 2-4. Just waiting for both teams to get in the lobby here. I am Mongoose. I play on a Chair League team, Division 1, as a support player called the Leftovers. And co-casting with me today is my teammate and our main tank, Afridi. How are you doing today, buddy?
Hello, hi guys, I'm Afridi here. Pretty good, how are you?
Pretty good, man. Second game of me for the night. We're doing a Division 3 marathon today. All of our games on Division 3 this week are on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Why don't you give us your initial thoughts for Tomb of the Spider Queen for our teams here, Ev?
Yeah, sure. This is definitely my favorite map because it's usually prefer very aggressive playstyle because the lanes are really close to each other. Also, this map you need strong wave clear because there's so many minions with spider. What's that called? Big spiders.
Yeah, the Spider Queens.
Yeah, and it also some hero have the globe quest or season marksman are really strong on this map.
Yeah, I agree. Zool is kind of king of this map right now. His win rate on hot slogs on this map is damn near 60%. He's really good.
Yeah, I would expect Zool and Killsas first ban. We'll see.
Yeah, that's what I tend to see in my games is Zool and Kael'thas pretty much universally banned first. I am having a conversation with our opponents here, and it looks like they thought we were going at 8, not 7:30. So working that out, bear with me. Yeah, what do you think about the kind of snowball nature of this map? In my experience, if you can get that first turn in and really control the turn ends, you can kind of make it really roll for you and make it difficult for teams to come back.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I mean, when you get first turn in, typically the spider will get you level 10 first. And after that, the opponent cannot really stop you from turning again.
Yeah, and that's one of the...
You can turn it over and over. But however, the spiders didn't... the spiders don't scale very well late game. So sometimes you can see really, really long game on this map. Because spider can't really finish the game for you.
Yeah, that's true, and that's another reason why Vision is so prioritized on this map. You know, Zagara, it's one of her best maps, even though she's kind of fallen out of the wayside on this map because her creep can go all over both turn-ins. It really makes her more valuable than she is on other maps. And, you know, Tyrande, Tassadar, those characters that give you Vision, really, really good on this map.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, in the Gold League finals this year, the final between MVP Black and E-Star, the last game was on Spider Queen map. It had it went to 38 minutes. It was crazy.
That's a long game.
Yeah, because neither team can finish the game because the spiders don't do that much.
Okay, it looks like we just had a little bit of a miscommunication. Now, both teams should be ready to go here shortly. Sorry for the typing in the background, guys, trying to sort everybody out here. Let's see. All right, so players trickling in the lobby right now. Got 5 here now, waiting on 5 more. So once No Pant Zone and the rest of NORF gets in here, we will get this show on the road. This is a Division 3 game. Both teams been struggling a little bit, so trying to get back into the winning record here. No Pant Zone 1-3, trying to find their second win of the season, and NORF looking for their third win of the season, currently at 2-4. One of the things I think that's a little bit unique about our team, F, is we started in Season 1, and our team has scrimmed Division 3 teams, Division 2 teams, Division 1 teams, pro teams, and last year we actually got to play NORF very early in the season, so we know these guys a little bit. Actually, that we were discussing, that was actually before you joined, right? It was the last game before you joined, so I got to know these guys a little bit.
Yeah, that was fitting.
But I do think, F, because I like I said about us scrimming so many different levels of teams, I think that kind of gives us a little bit of a unique perspective in that we've gotten to play such of the kind of wide skill level of all the teams in Chair League, which is really, really fun. And it's really a place for everybody because there's teams at every skill level that you can really jump in here and increase your Heroes of the Storm experience, because I think the best way to play it is 5-man on 5-man with comms. It's just a whole different game and it's a lot more fun.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think that's the future of this game, really. I mean, Team League is what makes this game unique. I mean, if I personally, because I used to play League of Legends, I think for solo queue experience, I think League of Legends is better. But as a 5-man group, this is the game.
Yeah, and I've been playing Team League, of course, a lot with you guys since we started playing together. But even before that, I dabbled in it a little bit, and it was kind of a dead game mode. But since they announced the revamp and they've given people motivation to be in there, and I think partially because of Chair League, there are teams in Team League now, and there are teams in there all the time. So if you have a 5-man, you can get in there, and it's really almost like a different game. It's so much more fun to play with guys. The toxicity just isn't there because you know who you're playing with.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I mean, especially this game. I mean, it's like a shared experience. You actually really need voice communications because you can make sure everyone on the same page, because there's so many strategic tasks you can do. I mean, all of them are viable, but then you make sure 5-men are doing the same thing, like taking a camp or doing a boss or just soaking. So I think that's why the voice communication is really important.
Yeah, I agree. And when you're in the solo queue environment, or even if you're duoing with somebody, you're not on voice comms, the pings are great and everything, but there's really only so much communication that you can do. Not only is the 5-man on voice comms more fun, but it adds a whole nother strategic level to the game, because you can contemplate doing things with niche characters that you just can't do in a solo queue environment. You can try to do these kind of different dynamic things, maybe weird comps or specific strategies that you would never ever see in a solo environment.
Yeah, definitely. I think everyone has some bad solo experience. Like, you feel that it's really important to soak a lane before 10, but your teammates really want to go for some minor team fight skirmishes. Yeah. And then I'll end up dying. I start flaming you.
Exactly, and
nothing
nothing is more painful than just grabbing onto a Nova in quick match for funsies and getting left in the top lane by yourself. And you're like, "Hey guys, I'm Nova. What in the world am I doing up here by myself?" But you know better than to leave the lane, so you end up standing there doing nothing.
Yeah.
So just waiting on one more. His ETA is 5 minutes from now. So we should be going here pretty soon. Why don't we talk about maybe the recent Chromie buffs? We haven't talked about this yet, so this is going to be spur of the moment. I'm curious, what's your opinion on the recent changes they did to Chromie since her win rate is so terrible?
I think they basically just buff her damage. I think that's it, right?
They buffed her damage and lowered her cooldowns and increased her health, but they also tweaked some of her talents a little bit. So with the talents...
I personally do not like that decision, but we need to see. The thing is, Chromie, she can almost 100 just kill a character instantly.
Yeah, she really can.
I don't think that is healthy for a game.
Well, it's not even that she can almost kill a character instantly. She can kill some characters instantly. Avala.
Yeah, it's just like the old Nova. No one want to play with her. I mean,
that's exactly what I was going to say. I think the closest,
you can even react and you're dead.
And the closest comp I think you have to her is Nova, because unless you waste your longest cooldown ability, she has 0 wave clear, just like Nova. If you catch her out, she's dead, just like Nova. So she's actually comparable to Nova in a lot of ways, and her whole job, her sole job, is to kill people.
Yeah, also she has really long range, so
She does.
usually if you are the opponent, you don't usually see Chrome. So you don't even know what's going on and you're dead. So
Absolutely.
I just don't think that's healthy.
Now, what I do appreciate what they're trying to do is I think they're trying to take a character that is super strong in one area and super weak in the others, because she has a lot of exploitable weaknesses. So you're trying to offset those, the fact that she has no escape, the fact that she doesn't have any wave clear, the fact that if you catch her, she's dead. All of those are offset by her high damage. So I like that they're trying to make players make a strategic choice with it. But it's a really tough balancing act. Right now, I don't think she's very viable. I had her in a Hero League game earlier, and I cringed when my teammate first picked Chromie, and shockingly, he did nothing. And he led the team in hero damage and deaths, and we lost by a lot.
Yeah, that's exactly. I mean, the same word can be said for the old Nova. No wave clear.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll tell you, the difference, just for me, to be honest, is I enjoy playing Nova, and I don't enjoy playing Chromie. Nova is the character, I don't take her into Hero League, but I do take her kind of for funsies into quick match when I'm not try-harding.
Also Nova, I just think Nova is a really selfish hero. I like playing Nova. I do not like my teammates play Nova.
That's definitely true. Because, I mean, you're basically out there hunting for kills, which is fun as Nova, but you really have to show your teammates, unless they know you, of course, that they can be confident in your ability to do that. Otherwise, you're not contributing to anything.
Yeah, also as Nova, I don't show myself until I can secure a kill.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
This can be really frustrating for teammates.
Absolutely, I'm the same way too. Generally, I'm not going to reveal myself until I can either kill somebody, or drive him out of the battle, or maybe save a teammate if I can get out safely too.
Yeah.
Okay, I am slowly handing out the draft links here, so we are moving in the right direction. Yeah, and actually, Hai and I have had a discussion. Hai plays Nova more than I do, but see, I like to build her with Snipe Master, and he likes to build her with 1 in a chamber. That's one of the discussions that he had. Where do you come down on Nova, 1 in the chamber or Snipe Master?
I usually do 1 in the chamber.
Do you? Yeah.
Because I want to use my snipe on
other things.
Other things.
Exactly. Yeah. And I get that, but I don't want to use my snipe on other things. I want to play her as close to I can as old Nova. And man, when you have that Snipe Master at 75%, there's nothing more fun than exploding a Leeming in one shot.
Yeah, do you also take the explosive round?
I do not.
Yeah, I thought that makes your snipe easier to hit.
Right. So, waiting on one more player here. Let's go back. Maybe we'll even go talk about the big patch that came out with Chromie. What are your thoughts on the Anubarak rework and the Arthas rework? Since you're our tank player, this specifically applies to you.
Yeah, I really like Arthas. Arthas is now my favorite hero right now. I think he's viable now. I mean, you just be careful. I mean, he's not a fully tank. I mean, you can play him like Merlin or ETC, but given enough support, he's really strong.
Yeah, and we've had a good experience with him too in a couple of games we've had with him in Team League or whatever, and he seems to work pretty well with our play style. And anybody who plays us, don't watch this because we're not going to give away team secrets, or maybe we already have. What about Anubarak?
Anubarak is also great. I mean, Anubarak is like the mage hunter now, especially with the Danton magic. I know Dampen Magic used to be on Stitches, but Stitches can't really use that talent really well because it's just the playstyle of Stitches. A new rack is different. New rack can burrow in. When they burrow in, the opponent team will throw all the spells on you. But when you have Dampen Magic, that's a lot of value.
Yeah, and it's a lot of damage negated. So my opinion on Nanubrag is everything you said is true, but because you're basically taking your tank off of the front line and diving into the middle of the enemy team, I prefer him in an off-tank role for that reason, because you don't want to completely abandon your back line to dive in the middle of the enemy team. So I really like Nanubrag beside another tank for that reason, because when he's at his full usefulness, he's diving off the front line, and you don't want to leave your back line exposed.
Well, maybe I have a slightly different opinion. I mean, you don't necessarily need a second tank. The thing is, you have to have built a diving camp. For example, Illidan.
Yeah, I mean, you can do it that. You can do it that way too. You can have the whole team dive with him. That's another way to do it.
Yeah. Oh, great, man. Oh, just make sure everyone can jump with a new rack. And the enemy team, if they are smart, they know a new rack is not a good target. They'll switch target. So.
And that goes back to strategies that you can pull off on a voice comms that are much more difficult to pull off without voice comms, because doing what we were just talking about in a solo environment is really hard. You can have one guy diving in as a Nubrak and expecting his whole team to follow up with him, and nobody does, and he dies. He flames his team for not following up on him, and his teammate flames him for overextending. They're both right, but you can still make it work.
I think in solo queue, I basically only burrow in when I can secure a kill. I mean, I will not burrow in when the 5 of them out there.
Right.
Because my teammates will just leave me to die and blame you. What a noob maneuver.
Exactly right. And and that's one of the things I think is actually an underrated facet of playing solo, is in addition to doing everything you should do as a player, soaking lanes, not dying, something you should also be doing is evaluating your teammates. If I'm not playing a support player, I try to pay a lot of attention to my support player and decide if he's somebody I can rely on in a hairy situation. Because if you know you can rely on your healer even in solo queue and the other team doesn't, it gives you an advantage. So I always try to evaluate my teammates for that reason, but it's just one more thing you have to do in solo that you don't when you're in a 5-man.
Yeah, when I'm playing solo, I mean, I mostly play tanks. One thing I learned after playing Charlie is always watch for my teammates' position, even in solo queue. Just make sure when I initiate the fight,
they're coming with you. Yeah. And not even just in chair league, more like especially in solo queue, because man, there's nothing more frustrating than being a tank and thinking, oh man, I've got this great initiate and I've isolated out their ranged assassin.
And, I got a 5-man march.
And where the hell is everybody? Yeah, exactly. That's terribly frustrating.
Yeah, a lot of things happen because the tank did not pay any attention to teammates' position.
Yeah, completely. That same Chromie game I referenced earlier was on Cursed Hollow. We had 2 players late to rotate. I'm on ETC. I'm pinging retreat because there's only 3 of us and there are 5 of them, and it's the first tribute. I'm like, let it go. It doesn't matter. We're late. 2 people died and they flame me for not going in. I'm like, well, if I go in, then 3 people die. Why would I do that?
Yeah. Mongoose, I think we have 2 teams.
Do we? Okay, great. Because I've been on the draft screen to make sure I don't miss anything. You got the observer link, right?
Yeah, I do.
Cool. So NORF has readied up on the draft, just waiting for No Pants Zone. And they are going to be on the way momentarily, and they are. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to switch to our draft screen, and if Friddy, because he's on comms, only gets that awesome picture down there that he hasn't seen yet, so he won't get to see it till the replay. No Pant Zone, first pick, first ban. I expect to see Kael'thas or Azul here. I would be very surprised if we don't.
You can choose to do a throwaway ban. Okay. Azul.
Yeah, they could. Yeah, I mean, if you ban somebody else, you guarantee that you get one of those guys. So that's always a viable option. And actually, that happened in the last game I cast it. So Azul banned out. I expect to see Kael'thas banned out right here.
Yeah, definitely.
So if Kael'thas is banned out as expected, who do you pick as No Pant Zone with that first pick?
It's really tough to say. I think it comes down to their personal preference.
Yeah, that's one of the things I've touched on in past casts, actually, is we can talk about kind of the meta and what's kind of on paper, by the book way to do it. But without knowing these teams extremely well, you're kind of guessing a little bit at what they're trying to do, and especially in Division 3, you can kind of see some wonky things. Thrall is always a good first pick. He does so many things well: good wave clear, good damage, escape, all of the above. So I think he's a really
also,
solid.
Saul can fit in any count, so that's a safe pick.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say, when you first pick Thrall, you don't give anything away because you can do pretty much anything with the rest of your comp. Falstad taking it with North's first pick, followed by Sylvanas. What do you think of those picks there, F?
It's pretty great. I mean, Falstad is probably the 3 best mages in the game right now, along with Killsouth, being main. It's very safe. I mean, also he has Gust. It's probably the best ultimate in this game. Sylvana is also a pretty solid pick here. We talk about the spiders are not very impactful, but Sylvanas can make them impactful.
Yeah, she definitely can with her black arrows. No Pants, this is like kind of a textbook comp. Rhaegar is the best wave clearing support. Johanna is probably the best wave clearing tank. They have a solid front line, probably the best overall healer. So No Pant Zone really starting off strong with strong meta picks. Norf responds with the Li Ming ban, so the only mage left is Jaina. And now it's No Pant Zone turn for a ban here. I would expect a healer or a tank ban from them to isolate those roles out, unless there's something specifically they don't like. I know when we play, there's certain heroes we just don't like playing against, and they might have those types of characters too.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they already have their tank and their healer, so if I was them, I'd probably ban ETC. But it's
yeah, ETC is a good ban. Could also ban out Sonya because that's the Morales. She's annoying to play against. Okay. Yeah. You know, one of the reasons I think you see Morales banned out so much is because you kind of have to game plan around her, and just by eliminating her, it's just one less thing you have to worry about.
Yeah, exactly.
So 2 picks here for Norf. They have a lot of options on the table. Sonya here would be a good pick to help battle against the Thrall. She's a kind of a half melee assassin, half bruiser. Really good character. She would be a good pick here. They also have a number of tanks still on the table: Muradin, Diablo, if they wanted to. Hey, we never talked about the changes to Diablo's Q. What's your opinion on that? Did you like those changes to his Q? Did you not like them?
I know a lot of people really hate that change. I mean, I tried it out. I think it's okay. It makes Diablo more offensive.
It does.
The only downside is you cannot use your Q to disengage.
Absolutely. I was going to say the same thing, because you used to be able to use that Q like a football block. You just knock somebody out of the way, and it would give you some distance between you and your teamates. But now you can't do that. He just follows the right. Hey, Sonya and ETC. All right, and the ET6 PC pick is really not bad at all, because Falstad Gust is one of the best counters to it. And also, they still have Uther on the table for a Divine Mosh, and I doubt No Pant Zone is going to pick Uther as a second healer here, so they always have that there if they want it.
Wow, very cool.
And Asmodan, all right. This is one of the things I like about Division 3F, is you see all kinds of wacky stuff here, and I have not casted an Asmodan game yet.
Asmodan does make sense here. I mean, it's a pretty good map for Asmodan, probably the best map.
Well, I'm of two of thoughts on it. The good thing is, if you go the glow build, of course, the lanes are so close together, he can farm them really well. And Johanna and Rhaegar with the lightning shield both really help Asmodan get those globes. The thing that does work against him, though, is on a smaller map, his trait doesn't get quite as much mileage because you can't really split push with it. So it's not quite as good on a smaller map. What about
but the kill will hit like a ton.
Yeah, at the end of the game, if this is a long game, which we talked about, games can go long on this map, that Q will absolutely wreck. What about the Zeratul pick? What do you think they're thinking with that one?
Zeratul is a good counter to Falstad, especially with what's that called, Purple Blade.
Yeah, because after the Gust, he can get right back on top of him.
Usually, Falstad is really safe, but not when he is against Zeratul.
And our last pick is Brightwing. That one surprises me. I really expected to see Uther there. What are your
I
thoughts?
think Brywin is counter pick 202, I'm pretty sure. Brywin level 4 has a huge radius review.
Yeah, the peekaboo talent. That's
Yeah,
definitely a
also
possibility.
when there to try to attack Falstad or Sylvanas, Brywin can polymorph.
That's true as well, although I do think that it's possible Brightwing might have a little bit of a hard time keeping up with the Thrall and late game Asmodan damage. She's not great at burst healing, so that might become a factor late in the game.
Yeah, could be. I think NORF will have a better early game, but if this game drags on, I mean, after 20 minutes when Asmodan has his stacks, it'll be really, really hard for NORF.
And what I will say though is generally with ETC, you really want to try to have a ranged cancel for Mosh and a melee cancel for Mosh. And their two cancels are Johanna and Thrall, both of whom are in the front line. So if he can catch both of those guys and somebody else, he could land a pretty impactful Mosh with that.
Well, they do have a Zero tool. I mean, Zero tool can use VP to sort of cancel Mosh Pit.
Yeah, or stall it out.
The damage, yeah.
The other thing, too, about NORF's comp here in particular is they don't really have a big AoE spell to drop on top of a good Mosh Pit. You know, like Jaina's Blizzard. So it wouldn't surprise me if maybe we see Hinterland's Blast out of Falstad for that reason. They're try to combo the Blast with the Mosh Pit, maybe?
Can be. But I just feel Gust is so good.
Yeah, it really is. You can use it for so many different things. And before the recent rework to Falstad, I would go Hinterland's Blast a lot, and I would pair it with the overdrive ability, the talent, but they took that out. And to me, it almost was a backhanded nerf to Hinterland's Blast.
But I think the problem with Hinterland Blast is the cooldown is way too long.
Well, it is, but with the overdrive, you get the 10% ability bonus to it, so it was like 10% extra damage.
I think it did like 1,000 damage. It's not that much.
No, it's not. It's what I found is it's really good against backline squishies, but No Pan Zone doesn't have any backline squishies. They actually have a pretty beefy team and a lot of melee characters, which will be interesting to see how they play that.
Oh, now you mention it, they don't have like a ranged DPS.
No, they do not. Only Asmodan. There's not what I would call a ranged DPS.
No.
All right, let's do our intros here. We've got NORF is our red team. We have Kix on Sonya, Undead Human on ETC, Skinny Love on Brightwing, Chicken Eye on Falstad, and Misty on Sylvanas. Why don't you introduce No Pants Zone for us, F?
Sure, we have Aladdin Sin on Asmodan, Dynamic on what's that? It's Johanna, and Kiran on Zertul, and Varonis on Rhaegar. Also, we have Thrall.
And No Pants himself
No
on
Pants.
Thrall. So here's our usual kind of 5v5 early game skirmish. I don't like that Falstad was the one to face check that bush, but he didn't stay in there very long. Johanna getting blown up pretty quick, but she still hasn't popped the Iron Skin and will probably get away no problem. So that was a little bit of an impressive damage dealing and good team focus by NORF right there.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think No Pants Zone should do the skirmish to begin with.
yeah, I kind of agree. With ETC and Brightwing, they could isolate somebody and maybe blow them up. Thrall pretty far forward here, and you have a 4-man rotation from NORF, a good power slide from ETC, and they get the pick on the Thrall. He was definitely a little too far forward and didn't see the rotation coming down.
Yeah, it's a good rotation here. I mean, that's what ETC do. I mean, face the god in early game.
Yeah, and what I expect from No Pants Zone here is they'll leave Thrall by himself in the bottom lane, and then they'll have the other members of the team bounce between top and bottom, it looks like, to help Asmodan get his globes. And let's see if he did go. Yep, he did go with the globe build, so that's very important to note. We have 4 men here at the bottom. Sylvanas might be the one left to contest the Thrall. I think Sonya would be a better choice if they're going to leave somebody by themselves. But NORF appears like they're doing the opposite. They're leaving their solo laner Falstad in the top, and they have Sylvanas, Sonya, Brightwing, and ETC doing really strong rotations between top and bottom. And you can see the rotations. Hey, Thrall saw it coming this time. He got back. You can see the experience lead just slightly with NORF and the gem lead. So their rotations are giving them a very slight early game edge.
Yeah, agree.
Now, Zeratul needs to be very careful just hovering around that close. I would like to see him a little bit further away unless he's going to actually engage, because otherwise he could get caught in area of effect spells and de-stealthed when he doesn't want to be.
Maybe he just wants to get gloves.
Maybe. Maybe. Well, let's see. Does he want to get gloves? Nope, he went for the increased cleave radius.
Oh. Okay, yeah.
Which kind of makes sense on this map with the wave clear. Hey, there's the peekaboo talent we were talking about. It does reveal Zeratul, and both Zeratul and Rhaegar are very low. There goes Rhaegar. These rotations by NORF have been pretty impressive early game, and they've gotten 2 picks from it. They're about a third of a level ahead in experience, and they are ahead in gems as well. And you can tell also that they have put no pan zone on their back foot initially.
Yeah, I think the early game strategy was pretty successful. I mean, they have 2 kills.
Well, not only that, you look at the towers. Both of the lower towers are about half ammo, and both of the mid towers are about half ammo too. I don't think any of NORF's structures have had any pressure put on them. There's the polymorph and the power slide combo onto Zeratul. He is able to blink out of the way, but they need to be very careful. They're really comboing ETC and Brightwing very well, and that chain crowd control is really working out for him right now.
Yeah, but I just want to emphasize, I mean, No Pan Zone has a really late game combo.
Absolutely, they do.
I mean, they have some slight disadvantage right now, and that's not a big issue. I mean, as long as they hang on to late game, they will have an advantage. Yeah,
they want to stay close. You don't want to let them get too far ahead, but staying a little behind early isn't bad if you're going to snowball late. But look at this push. This is Sylvanas at work here. Thrall can't do anything about this without help. Here comes Johanna. Here comes Zeratul. NORF, did they see it coming? They did, and this is a 4-on-4. Brightwing is barely getting away. This is really good body blocking by ETC to keep Brightwing up there, and a really nice kind of fighting disengage from NORF there.
Yeah.
And we didn't talk about it because it kind of happened in the middle of another discussion, but NORF just got their first turn-in at 3 minutes and 20 seconds. That's a really fast turn-in.
Yeah, the early games, they are really dominating this game right now. I don't think No Pan Zone can stop them. Also, I mean, as we mentioned earlier, they don't have a ranged DPS, so it means they can't really stall turn-in.
No, they can't. And one of the disadvantages to melee characters is if you're behind in level, it's very hard to fight as a melee character because you're just at this constant disadvantage.
Yeah, for most melee, it's either you go all in or you just disengage.
Yeah, very few of them can poke. Now, Thrall is one of the few that can kind of poke a little bit, so there is that. But the early game advantage definitely on NORF here. They're a full level ahead. And now what they want to do is keep the pressure on and keep their eyes on the turn-ins. No Pan Zone does have a turn-in.
So this is 5 minutes right now. Asmodan already have bonus damage 108.
They see, and by the way, this Falstad keeping an eye on the top turn-in. Now he needs to be careful, he's by himself, but that was a really nice job of poking and waiting for his team to rotate, and there they are. So really nice job by NORF of keeping an eye on the turn-ins. You can tell they're really, really focused in on not letting them turn in. They're bouncing back and forth from both turn-ins and pushing out those lanes. Although it looks like Johanna might sneak in the 34. You better get down there, Falstad. And he does. 34 gems turned in from Johanna. Falstad is too far forward by himself. Thrall got picked in the bottom lane by 4 members. I would have liked to seen them push that a little bit more right there. Maybe get the well with 4 men and only Zeratul.
Yeah, probably.
But they don't. They choose to back up and still try to keep... Even though Johanna got her 34 gems in, which is really big, NORF is almost at a second turn-in already. If they could get 2 turn-ins before No Pan Zone gets 1, that's going to be a big deal. And they're going to hit 10 first, so that very well could happen. You've got Zeratul sitting on 43 gems right now. If he gets this turned in, very risky and very sneaky of Zeratul. He just got No Pan Zone, their first turn-in of the game.
Okay, good job. That means this spider will make up some level disadvantage.
And Zeratul is still sitting on 27 gems even after the turn-in. Well, Johanna, Power Slide, Polymorph. She is going to pop the Iron Skin and get away, but she took a lot of damage. NORF is playing pretty aggressive here. They're going to eliminate this top spider really fast.
Yeah, they need to be. I mean, now they are level 10. I mean, well, it's a full level advantage right now.
And with the heroics, speaking of heroics, we have Wrath of the Berserker, Wailing Arrow, Mosh Pit. He did go Gust and Blink Heal from Brightwing. I think if you're a solo heal Brightwing, you have to go Blink Heal.
Yeah, it's a pretty standard.
Oh, Zeratul caught out by Sonya.
Okay.
Good Blink to get out of there.
Yeah.
And then Brightwing Polymorph or Peekaboo in there just to make sure Zeratul wasn't doing anything silly like sticking around.
Yeah, the nice thing about the Brightwing build is you basically spam your mount.
Yeah, when you get the reduction on her teleport like that. And basically no damage done from that first turn-in. They have to see Zeratul here. He needs to be careful. That's what I was talking about early game. He's too far forward. You're stealthed. You're not invincible. Mosh Pit gets Johanna. You know, that may not seem like a big deal, but if you kill one character every time you hit Mosh Pit, you're getting your money back on that. That's a really good change there.
Yeah.
All right, we have level 10 talents. Zeratul not showing yet. Blackpool from Asmodan, which makes sense with the globe build. Sundering, Ancestral Healing. Void Prism, of course, by Zeratul. I imagine we'll see Blessed Shield from Johanna, and there it is. So both teams have their 10s. NORF is about a level up, and I like what they're doing. When you have Sylvanas, you want to get your money's worth out of her, and that means you have to push with the spiders. And they're doing it as a 5-man, and they're pushing hard.
That's smart.
Absolutely. Only 3 members here from No Pant Zone, and they're being driven back in a big wake. Oh, Polymorph cancels the Sundering. Really nice Polymorph, and a really aggressive Power Slide from ETC. No Pant Zone, full retreat. So what does No Pant Zone need to do to turn this around?
I think they just need to be patient, wait for Asmodan to get more stats.
Yeah, even though it seems like they're controlling the early game, which they certainly are, you look at it, only 1 level down, and they're about to be 2 forts down, which isn't a big deal. As long as you don't have catapults pushing on your core, the structures themselves aren't a huge deal.
Yeah, speaking of Asmodan already have 174 bonus damage. That's a lot.
That is a lot. That is a lot. He's definitely on pace to max that out toward the late game, and a nice job of his team helping it out. He hasn't been on screen much because he's been focusing on that, but you could see even right there, that was a nice chunk out of Falstad, Brightwing, and Sylvanas, even non-maxed out at level 11. So later game, he's going to hit like a freight train.
Yeah.
Early game here being controlled by NORF. They're already halfway to their 3rd turn in. However, No Pant Zone does have a turn-in. So once again, you want to see NORF control these turn-in points. They started to do it early in the last phase, but they kind of got away from it a little bit, and they let Zeratul and Johanna both sneak in and turn in, and that's what led to No Pant Zone's only turn-in. The advantage on this map, though, to having the lanes pushed out, is it's harder to sneak those turn-ins when the lanes are pushed out.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's probably time to do some mercs.
Yep, and you can see, just as you say that, if you look at the mini-map, Sylvanas is down there doing the bottom giants.
Yeah, good choice.
I noticed Falstan turned in 1 gem there. What's your limit on gem turns? I tend not to turn in unless it's going to make the difference for a turn-in until about 10.
Well, I mean, if you are safe to do so, I mean, you don't have anything else to do, why not?
As I know, like I said, unless it's going to make a difference for a turn-in, I don't really look to start trying to turn in until around 10 or so, because you don't want to carry too many around, because then if you die, it's a huge death. And speaking of, Zeratul has to be so passive with 48 gems, it kind of nerfs him a little bit because he has to be so careful.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, and he is revealed with Sonya right next to him. She is all over him. He is Polymorph, Brightwing throwing out. Sonya's probably going to go down here. Excellent Gust to save Sonya's life there. They weren't able to finish up on Zeratul, but Chick and I definitely saved Kick's life right there.
Really nice Gust.
Very nice Gust. Now, Chick and I exposed and away from help right here. With the Zeratul on the enemy team, that's something you need to be very careful of. It looks like No Pant Zone is trying to force another turn-in again, and NORF is not aware of it. Johanna is in position to zone. They just got 50 turned in, and Johanna's trying to get the last 7. Falstad interrupts the channel. So they were able to get most of them in. Sonya, once again, I think Sonya's really prioritizing Zeratul when he's revealed.
Yeah, Zeratul is really squishy. I mean, if you can land the Ancient Spear, you can kill Zeratul really quickly. Also, I just checked Asmodan. He has 264 bonus damage.
He's doing a lot. The question is whether they're going to get to the late game. They're doing a pretty nice job of keeping up level-wise. They've only been 1 level down, and that's been pretty consistent.
Yeah, 1 level disadvantage with Asmodan comp is not much.
Yeah, that's okay. NORF does have a turn-in now, and they get it. ETC snuck it in off-camera on the top shrine. Their 3rd turn-in to only 1 from the no-pant zone. I imagine we're probably going to see a Mosh attempt here soon. We've only seen the 1, so you know it's up and ready to go.
I think this turn-in is really important. I would really like to see them trying to get a keep.
Yeah, that's a really good point. If you get those catapults
because Asmodan is really getting a lot of stack right now.
And Sylvanas got caught with the globe, and it took her down by about a 3rd health. Where's the mosh pit? I expect to see it any second. Excellent ancestral heal on Rhaegar. Still no mosh pit yet. And that is Sylvanas goes down. Brightwing goes down. There's the disengage. I was just going to say they need to disengage. And because they lost that team fight...
That's the power of globe.
Absolutely. Yeah. There are 2 big globes in there that completely set them back. And I don't know why, but Undead Humans seem to be a little hesitant to pull the trigger on the mosh pit there.
Also, when you are fighting Asmodan comp, I really like them. I mean, it's already too late, but I think... they should take what's that called? The magic shell.
Oh, spell shield.
Spell shield, yeah.
Spell shield, yeah. Yeah, because it's all ability damage, and
yeah.
I know ETC has it, and I'm pretty sure Sonya has it as well.
Sonya has it.
Yeah. And you know, because they lost that team fight, they basically got 0 value out of that turn-in.
Yeah.
So now, they're getting rotated on. Sonya and ETC are in trouble. This is going to be bad news. Sonya is going to go down fast. ETC is trying to peel, but the Blessed Shield gets them both. There's the Sundering. The Gust does save ETC, but Sonya goes down. That was a pretty quick reaction by Falstad, but not able to save Sonya. I touched on this during my last Cast F. I think one of the things teams can use to improve themselves a lot that we worked on in our early tenure as a team is being aware of your team's vision. And Sonya and ETC were exposed and clearly visible to the enemy team. It's something they want to make sure they're aware of.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. Especially if they don't really have any level advantage anymore.
They do not. This point. Now, they do have a big structure advantage. All of their keeps and forts are up. I don't even know if they've lost any towers yet.
Probably not.
It looks like ETC might be posturing for that mosh pit. We've still only seen the 1. I know you don't want to use it all over the place because the cooldown is so high, but if you never use it, you don't get any value out of it either. And there is the no pant zone turn-in. I'm surprised they didn't try to get that earlier when Sonya was down. So it looks like they're going to push this top lane with the Web Weavers. And NORF is kind of posturing towards Asmodan, but he is staying so far back because the range is so long on that globe. He's just going to pop it from a distance there. Excellent silence, and there's the mosh pit. Big play.
Yeah, nice mosh pit.
Big play. Well, and not only a nice mosh pit, but the silencing arrow was right on top of it, so there was no way to interrupt it.
It's a nice wombo combo.
Absolutely. That was a huge turn for NORF there. Really well played. The last game I casted, that was something I was really wanted the one team to do, and that was an excellent example of it. The Hungering Arrow, not the Hungering Arrow, what's it called? The Wailing Arrow and the Mosh Pit were perfectly timed there.
Yeah, that's, to be honest, I was a little bit worried about NORF because Asmodan to get stacks. They just need to consistent land those mosh pit.
Yep, absolutely. And if Misty hits whaling arrows like that, they don't need to worry about interrupting it either. They just hit as many people as they can on it, and Misty hits her whaling arrow, and then it doesn't matter because nobody can interrupt it anyway. So that was a big turning point because NORF seemed to be losing the momentum there, and they really took it back with that team fight. They're getting both their bruiser camp and the bottom giant camps right now. Sylvanas needs to be really careful here. She is too far forward, too far from her team. Just got out there. That was a little too far for a squishy character like Sylvanas.
Asmodean Q has bonus damage 370.
Now the max on that is 500, right?
Yeah.
So he's getting pretty close. And at 17 minutes, I mean, the pros do it really fast. We're not pros here, obviously. So this is a really, really respectable amount for this point in the game. Sonya and Sylvanas very far forward. No Pants Zone thought about it and then opted to pull back because they were split up. That would have been a really aggressive engagement that could have gone really well or really poorly. Now, NORF needs to be aware there are 4 men here. Falstad is on the top. So they want to make sure they're very careful if they choose to engage. See, I don't like that move from Sonya because Falstad is not here.
But I do agree NORF needs to make some plays. I mean, time is not on their side.
No, and they do have enough for a turn in here now, and it looks like they're going to get it. ETC zoning out, now he's going to turn in. This will probably do it. No Pant Zone is too far away, and they don't really seem interested in interrupting it anyway. I'm kind of surprised. They're on even levels. You don't want to let them get a free turn in. I guess they thought that the globe would be up in time, but it wasn't, because NORF got their... Is that their 4th turn in of the game now?
That didn't come first. 3?
3 or 4.
Yeah.
But they're doing really, really well here.
Yeah. Also, at this point, I mean, I know you want to group up, but with Asmodean on the other team, you need to try to spread out a little bit.
Yeah, stay together as a team, but don't clump up so you can all get blasted by the Globe of Annihilation.
I think that globe can almost take like half of the HP.
I want to see a party bush here. Yeah, there you go. Let's see what they do. There's the mosh pit. Oh, no. He didn't get good position on it. That was a good call to not land it, because I don't think he would have gotten any value out of it. Kick's a little too far forward for my liking there, though. That was really smart, and see, that's why it's too far forward with Zeratul. But that was really smart there. The engagement that they wanted wasn't there, and they just opted to back up. Very well done.
Okay. Yeah, that's a defensive warrior prison.
Yep, and that's how you want it to be used, defensively, not offensively. You know, look at the damage that does. I mean, that took like 30% of Falstad and Brightwing's health down. You've got to be pretty disappointed, though, if you're NORF and you don't get a keep off this turn-in. You really want to get a keep off this turn-in.
NORF, I think if I was NORF, I need to get experience, try to get experience right now, because they're so close to 20.
Yes, they are, and yeah, they want to take down this wall. I wish they would have done that a little bit earlier, because they know No Pan Zone is down there taking care of the web weavers.
That's why they can't come together.
Yep, and look at their life. That whole front line was just melted. Excellent Blessed Shield, followed up by the Sundering, but there is Chicken Eye with another good gust to save his team. They're doing a really nice... Oh, dunked on by Asmodean. There goes Sylvanas. I was just going to say, Chicken Eye has been doing a really nice job with his gust disengages. Careful, boys. Zeratul's right there. Nice job. They could tell he sniffed him out.
Yeah, they definitely tell.
Oh, there's the globe, though. Maybe a little too far in for Zeratul. But yeah, those globes are doing a ton of damage. And I think you're right. NORF does need to make their adjustment to their team fighting to spread out just a little bit more. You don't want more than 2 heroes getting caught in one of those things.
Yeah, I mean, I totally understand that's easier said than done, because
yeah, it is.
But you need to try to do that.
Yeah, and you know, it's tough. This is why Kael'thas and the medic get banned out so much, is because teams practice a certain way with regards to team formations and team fighting, and it works almost all of the time. But then you have these heroes like Medic or Kael'thas with this living bomb that force it. Nice mosh pit. There's gonna go Zeratul, and then the tour bus right onto Asmodean. Excellent job by Undead Hunter. No Pant Zone in full retreat. Johanna's going to go down. Her Indestructible is not going to save her. The Ancestral Heal does not save Thrall. I want to see NORF. Oh, offensive gust to get Asmodean. They got to be licking their chops at getting Asmodean. They're going back to get the web weavers. I would really like to see with these long timers them to put some pressure on the back keeps here. Oh, that's a big blow. That globe doing so much damage. Yeah, what I was talking about, though, when you have characters like Abzodan with the Globe of Annihilation, and Medic with her massive single-target healing, and Kael'thas with his Living Bomb, it forces teams to fundamentally change how they team fight, and that's why I think they get banned so much, not so much Abzodan, but the other two, is the way you normally play against most comps, you can't play that way. So it's going to be tough for NORF to make that adjustment to spread out just a little bit more in these team fights.
Yeah, I totally agree. Also take spell shield against Asmodan.
Yes, absolutely. And we'll break down these talents after the game. We may have to do it a little bit fast because we do have another game that we're casting pretty close to the end of this. Actually, we might not be able to go over it at all, but we'll see how this goes.
Yeah.
You know what? Even though they took
24 minutes.
Yeah, even though they took down 3 members, they didn't get a lot of value out of that team fight win there. The only thing well, not the only thing.
Asmodan basically have full stack right now.
And Sylvanas needs to be very careful. This is an offensive Void Prism, and his team is too far away. Will the Gust save him? Yes! What a great Gust again by Chicken Eye. That's the 4th time, maybe, that he's had a really good disengage Gust. The other thing with those globes doing that much damage, you can't hang around at half-life. You have to leave.
Yeah.
Kix is too far forward here. That was a mistake. He went way too far forward. This game seems to be very slowly teetering in No Pant Zone's direction. It kind of feels like it's going that way. Guys, you can't turn in 5-on-4. You need to disengage here. I think this is a mistake if they try to force a turn in only 4 members.
Yeah, I think maybe Sonia was a little bit impatient there.
Yeah, definitely so.
I mean, when you have an ETC, you should let ETC go first.
For sure. Ow, and you know what? No Pants Zone made a mistake by letting ETC turn in 45 gems too, because that should have never happened with all 5 men alive.
Meanwhile, NORF have a Merc pushing right now.
In the bottom lane, that is true. And maybe what NORF wants to do here is turn in while they go to deal with those gems, because they do have enough for a turn-in. And that looks like what Sylvanas and Brightwing are going to try to do. You always want to be really careful when the other team has a Zeratul. And that's hey, nice job by Brightwing. He was aware of that and wanted to make sure that he wasn't sniffing around there. This is going to be the 3rd time I've said it this game. I want NORF to get a keep with these Web Weavers. They've had about 3 chances to do it, and they haven't been able to do it yet.
Yeah, right now it's still pretty even. I think they definitely takes the bot.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Yeah, absolutely. You know, Thrall is down here. No, it says Thrall and Zeratul and Rhaegar all down here. And see, this is smart of No Pants Zone. Oh, waste of a mosh pit. He missed it. Oh, the tour bus gets Rhaegar, though. Too bad it was almost too far over. This was really smart of No Pant Zone, knowing that this bottom lane was the most vulnerable, to jump on those Web Weavers right away.
Oh,
Kix being very
just
aggressive.
in time.
Just in time. Now we're going to have another 5-on-5, and No Pant Zone doesn't have to worry about any mosh pits here. So NORF choosing to disengage and try to push out another lane. Johanna gets polymorph, takes a lot of damage. Sundering goes down, splits the team in half. Sonya is going to go down. Oh, nice peel by ETC. That was a really good face melt by ETC.
Yeah, I think NORF has to retreat now. They don't have any out right now.
Well, and furthermore, we talked about, see, Kix, this is a mistake again. He's going to get dunked on. You cannot stay at half-life when the other team has Asmodan. Especially a full stacks Asmodan.
They also have a Zeratul. I mean, I think the way, the position when she Hearthstone back, it's pretty dangerous.
Yeah, where Sonya did it right up here, I agree. Whenever there's a stealthy on the other team, you have to be very aware of where you hearth back. So neither team has a turn in right now. I think we're going to see some posturing and some merc camps. I don't think No Pant Zone knows exactly where NORF is. It looks like they're kind of fishing. They do now, though, of course.
Yeah.
And Zeratul did go up and check the boss. If this chain of events keeps going, we're going to have an engagement over this keep down here. You know NORF wants this keep. ETC is in good position, but he left good position. Now he leaves his squishies to get flanked from Thrall. Look at that. It just does so much damage. They will finally get catapults pushing on core. I want to see them just back up here. Mission accomplished, and get out of there. I mean, look at how much the damage that does. It's unreal.
Yeah. Everyone got HP back and tried to get another keep. Oh, looks like they're gonna go in now.
This is aggressive. I don't like that with Kicks and Skinny Love on such low life, and that's exactly why. Good sundering by Thrall to split them up. Once again, Chicken Eye riding in like the American cavalry to save the day. Misty is at 2 health. She was at 2 hit points before the Blink Heal came and saved her. I don't think I've ever seen 2 hit points before. That Asmodan is doing so much damage. This could be game if they play it right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's GG.
It's going to be close. I mean, they do still have to pour through the keeps, and ETC is still alive. So they have to kill 1 keep here, and then they have to go on the core. And ETC is doing what he can do to stall. He's got to stall for probably 40 seconds or so before he gets 2 other teammates back up. Now, I will say there aren't minions pushing in yet, so the fort is doing a little bit of damage. Very little bit. Maybe a mosh pit here if he catches enough of them, can stall him out. Both him and Sonya are there. I expect a mosh pit here, kind of an in desperation mosh pit. They're all clumped up.
Mosh pit now.
Yep. There it is. There it is. That's it.
There it is. Oh.
You know, the mistake No Pant Zone made there is they fought between the keep and the fort, and they were taking damage from both. They really needed to stay on the top side of the core so the keep couldn't do damage to them. Now, NORF can win this game. They just need to wait 10 seconds for Falstad to get up. So the 3 of them can go down there now, and Brightwing and Falstad can just teleport over there. They need to go straight to the core right now.
I mean, if you look at the catapult I bought,
yep.
The catapult already working on the core right now.
It is only Johanna to try to save the day. That decision that they made to fight between the core and the keep probably just cost No Pant Zone the game because they were taking a lot of damage from both.
I think NORF just went here.
Yep, absolutely. Johanna's going to fight valiantly, but I don't think there's much she can do. NORF is basically ignoring her. Yep. That was an excellent mosh in desperation to keep the defense alive, and the decision to fight under both the keep and the core was a really big
also, they really clumped together.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, players, you always got to remember that core does splash damage. So if you clump together, everybody's taking damage from the core. You got to spread out a little bit so you don't take splash damage from the core. Okay,
also, they have ETC.
Yeah, absolutely. And they should have had that in the back of their head, that ETC had that mosh up. All right, we have about 7 minutes to go over talents. So let's look at the stats here real quick. Look at Asmodan.
Oh, the Asmodan damage is crazy.
He has more damage than the rest of his team almost combined. Almost combined.
Yeah, if you look at Falstad damage, Falstad damage is respectable, but it's just not compared to Asmodan.
And I don't know about you, F, but I'm going to give MVP to Chicken Eye because he had about 5 gusts that saved his team this game.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, let's take a look at these talents real quick. Why don't you go over Zeratul, because I think you play him more than I do.
I do. I think that Zeratul went through a hybrid build. He took mostly like a mage tool build, with the exception of Whirlpool Blade, which I think is smart. Make him he can stick to Falstad. Otherwise, it's pretty standard mage tool build.
Is there anything that you would have changed if this were you, or did you like that build for this map and this comp?
I never tried this build before, but I think it makes sense.
What about Asmo? When I play Asmo, I almost exclusively play him with the split pushing build, which would not work on this map. What do you think of Asmo's build here? Obviously, Taste for Blood gave them a ton of damage and almost turned the game around.
Yeah, for Asmo, I think I'll pick different at level 4 and level 13, I believe, but it's not really a big deal. Level 13 is the one you can move while using a laser.
Yeah, I almost think that's a must pick.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, he basically choose the mana reduction,
right,
which also makes sense.
Sure, because he's really relying on those globes. So then that way it does make sense. And he went mostly globe talents, which all synergize together. If you would have went that movement, though, that would have given you more value out of your gluttony at level 4. What about Thrall? That's another character that I don't play, and you do.
Thrall is also kind of a hybrid here. The level 1 and level 4 is really standard. It's good. Level 7 wind shear is good. But I think, I mean, you can either take wind shear or the follow through. But if you went with wind shear, I really would like to go with a full wind fury build. That means level 13. That's heal, double heal from your E. I think that makes sense more because wind shear basically reduce the cooldown. When you reduce cooldown, you really want to take all the talent on your E.
Yeah, I mean, I understand why he took Giant Killer at 13 with double tanks on the other side. You see what he was trying to go with. But whenever you're building your talent build with any character, you're looking for synergy within talents. So you're not getting the full maximum effect if you're not synergizing within your talent build. So you always want to keep that in mind when you're doing it.
Yeah, I mean, Giant Killer definitely, if you can definitely take Giant Killer, that's fine. But if you take Giant Killer, I think level 7, maybe the follow through is a better choice.
That would make sense. You go follow through, Giant Killer, and then Nexus Blades. All of those synergize really well together.
Right.
So I'll comment on the Rhaegar build. This build is the exact... understanding that sometimes you change your build based on circumstance, but if I were to put a generic Rhaegar build, this would be it with one exception. I always get the Colossal Totem and the Earth Grasp Totem. The slow is just so good. You can use it as a disengage tool, kind of like the Gust was used. When your team's in retreat, you throw it down, you're probably going to get away. And you can also use it in pursuit. Rhaegar jumps in his wolf form, he throws that down in front of somebody. I mean, the slow is so much, it's almost a brute. This is something I switched to lately, and I really like the Healing Totem. The talents at 4 for Rhaegar are a little bit underwhelming. However, if you're going to go tidal waves here, that means you're going to be casting your Q more, and in that case, I would have liked to have seen the mana cost reduction here at 4. I always like at 13 is the shield on the W, and you would have been throwing it on Johanna the whole game. So that almost gives you an extra heal, and that's the one change I would have made to this build, is I would have gone with the shield and thrown it on Johanna. I mean, with all these melee characters, it makes sense to do the tidal wave, but then I would have changed it to mana reduction here. But I mean, a lot of those are preference things. There's nothing wrong with doing it this way. That's just what I would have done. Now, I know you and I both play Johanna, and I'm curious, I really like this build, except for 2 things, and I'm curious what your what do you think of that build, and I'll tell you what I think of it.
Sure.
So what's your feedback on Johanna's build there?
This Johanna build is exactly the same build I used in our match earlier this week.
This is pretty much my generic Johanna build, what he's got here, with one exception. And my one exception is on this map and Infernal Shrines. On Infernal Shrines and on this map, I go Eternal Retaliation at 4 because you can use that Condemn so much, and Wave Clear is so important on these 2 maps. I would have gone Eternal Retaliation and Blessed Momentum, and you just can, it's like your W is always off cooldown.
I mean, while I agree with you, but I think for Johanna, for a tank in general, if you can self-sustain, you take it because you don't want your healer to waste all the mana on you.
Yeah, I agree with that, and that's why I said on every map except Infernal Shrines and this one, this is my build, 100%. On those two maps specifically, that's when I change it up a little bit. And Imposing Presence is always good. I mean, but in this case, it would have really only affected Sonya and Falstad, so maybe something slightly different there, but that's really not a big thing. I am terrible on Sonya.
I mean, Johanna doesn't really have much choice on level 16.
No, she doesn't. Yeah, her talents at 16 are a little bit underwhelming, and I don't know about you, but I never see any circumstance in which I would ever take anything other than just Indestructible at 20.
Well, in some sense, in some scenario, I would take Storm Shield.
Storm Shield, yeah, that's true.
Because sometimes you know the opponent team will not focus you at all.
Right, that's very true. And you know, if you go double Storm Shield and they coordinate it well, that's really powerful. Really powerful. So you're right. And actually, I think we talked about this in our team chat a little. We were talking about coordinating our storm shields better when we have double or triple storm shields, and they can be really powerful if you coordinate them the right way.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and do Sonya because we both know that I'm terrible on Sonya.
Well, Sonya is. I think this is the standard build, which normally I will agree with, but against Asmodan. On this map, you know Asmodan gonna get full stack pretty early.
Right.
I will go for Spell Shield.
Spell Shield, yeah, and it would have made a difference. And I think that's we're gonna say the same thing about ETC when we get to him in a minute. What about Sylvanas here? What do you think of her?
Unfortunately, I don't really play Sylvanas.
I play her a little bit, so I will comment on it. You know, I like it for Sylvanas is really squishy. Oh, my game's going a little weird right now. Sylvanas is really squishy. I always go the increased distance on the Q at level 4. There we go. Just to allow you to stay a little bit safer, especially for melee characters and a Zeratul. You want to try to stay safe if you can. So I prefer the increased distance here. But Overflowing Quiver, this is actually a pretty cool ability. You can also do the extra damage or the increased duration, but I think this was the way to go here because there's so many minions on this map. You get maximum mileage out of it. And if you're going a wave clear build, you always go 200%. Wailing Arrow was really effective this game, and there's that one play in particular where he was pinpoint on it, and it absolutely turned the game. It was huge. So props to Misty for hitting a big Wailing Arrow. And Cold Embrace, I always pick it. Anytime you can get vulnerable, you get it. And Bolt of the Storm, it's a good pick because she's so squishy, gives you more mobility, makes perfect sense. ETC we both play, so we'll both comment on it a little bit. This is pretty close to the exact build I use, except for not here. I usually go with the slow here, but you need to have a spell shield against an Asmodan. So I would have changed the 16 pick, and I would have picked up spell shield. I don't pick up Torbus, but that's mostly because I'm terrible with it. Undead Human used it twice really, really well. I prefer either Death Metal, where I just kind of dive in the middle of the enemy team and invite them to kill me, or Storm Shield. But Torbus is really good, and he did a really nice job with it.
Yeah, I agree. Torbus, he does have a lot of value from Torbus. My talent choice will be Bolt of the Storm, though.
Oh, sure, yeah. But I mean, obviously for Undead Human, he made that work, and that was the pick for him. So he did that a couple times. Yeah, really well done. And I think
it's just personal preference, I guess.
Yeah, totally. And the first time he used it, I really think it caught No Pant Zone off guard. All right, let's go over this Falstad build. Since the recent rework to Falstad, he basically has 3 builds. Most people don't think the Lightning Strike build is viable, so that gives him 2 builds in competitive, which is your Q build and your auto attack build. Chicken Eye went with the auto attack build, and this is the auto attack build to a T. Yeah. I don't use these two. And, okay. I don't like Epic Mount on this map because it's so small. I don't think you're going to get as much out of it. Maybe just a personal choice. I might have taken the upgrade to Gust because the level 20 upgrade to Gust is really good.
That's a fair point. I mean, I think he's taking a pretty standard hybrid Falstad build right now.
Yeah.
The only talent I would change, actually, is when I watch some Korean pro play at level 4, they took Van Buren assault.
Yeah, and you and I talked about this a little bit recently either. It's not a popular pick, but it takes a little bit of the support when Brightwing is solo supporting and she doesn't have a lot of burst heal like that. It gives Falstad that little bit of self-sustain to take some of that pressure off her. And if he would have done that, and Static Shield kind of does the same thing, but if he would have done that, then you have Sylvanas, ETC, and Falstad all having some self-sustain, which really helps Brightwing in a solo support build.
Yeah, because if you look at your team comp, Sonya will be the recipient of most of heal.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
if
you have some self-sustain, you want to use them. You don't want your healer to waste their blink kill on you, because the healer